everyone goes wrong in soldering. Some people don't know how to do it, or they either do it wrongly. But don't worry, in this video I'm going to tell you all about soldering and how to do it in the correct way. So stay till the end of this video to learn how to. So before we read the video, if you are new to our channel, then don't forget to subscribe so that my videos will reach towards you. Now let's go and learn what is soldering and its types. So firstly, what is soldering? So soldering is a technique where you join two components with a metal. So you may not understand this by words. When I do it, you maybe understand even better. So to do soldering, the components are a soldering iron, which is the main part of soldering, a soldering tin, a sponge and a stand, desoldering pump, tweezers, desoldering wick, and plier. So we will learn all of these one by one in this video. Normally, to make any device or circuits, we take wires, join between them or between the components and make it work, like transformers, switch boxes, fans, tube lights, and the electricity coming to our houses. But can you believe that we just need to place the wires one below the other, and we melt a special metal, and when we place it above them, it becomes stronger than a twist. Yes, that technique is called soldering. To do soldering, you need two major components, which is this component is called the soldering iron, which does the task of heating the metal that I told before, and the metal that I told before is called the soldering tin. So when you melt this metal with this soldering iron, the metal melts, and when you keep that melted metal onto any component or wires, it freezes to that component and makes the component stiff, like the component's joints become stiff. So let's do soldering, and I teach you in the correct way. Firstly, to do soldering, you need to choose the perfect and correct soldering iron. Without this, you cannot do soldering because this is the device that heats it. So if you buy cheap soldering irons, it will not provide much. This is because you can say, hey, this is cheap, I will buy it. Wow, I will do it. What? It does not heat much. Oh no, my money is wasted. You do like that because cheap soldering irons doesn't have much wattage. That is, more wattage means more power will be given. So if you have less wattage, the cheap soldering irons have that, and you cannot get heat. You may ask, why does heat matter? This is because you must melt this soldering iron, you guys. So if you have very less heat, you can't even melt this soldering tin, and you make sure that you have temperature control in the soldering irons. This is because if you have a fixed temperature in these soldering irons, say one specific soldering iron gives output up to correctly 300 degrees Celsius, and you can't change it, and the soldering tin melts at exactly 200 degrees Celsius, then more heat will make the soldering tin to smoke. That's why. So you can take a temperature controlled soldering iron for some of the soldering tins, for some specific soldering tins. So what I recommend is this UHOA 9284 soldering iron, which is best, as I used it many times now, and this is not a sponsor, this is only my recommendation. So in my previous videos I posted a review about how this works and is it worth it. So if you want to buy it, then check that video and go. So soldering is mainly used for printed circuit boards, or also called as PCBs. So in some of your switch boxes, you have many messy wires. So to cut that messy wires, printed circuit boards were invented, in which the wires are inside these boards itself. These are copper wires, I think. Yeah. So to cut the many messy wires, the wires are inside the circuit itself. So you don't have to wire the wires manually. So firstly, let us do soldering in this printed circuit board or PCB, and then let's learn how to solder these wires and learn each thing one by one. You can see the printed circuit boards has many holes where you keep the components in. You just have to solder the components. You just need to insert the components in these holes and solder them, and done. You don't have to wire it. So I'll take an LED and place it in some random pins like this. I'll keep it here. Okay, now I have placed an LED in this hole, and as you can see, where is it? Here the pins of an LED are here. So we need to solder it, because see how loose it is. So when we solder it, the legs become tightened and fix into this board correctly, and our circuit works perfectly. So now let's solder. So now let's turn on this iron and set it to around 240 to 250 degrees Celsius, if it is temperature controllable iron, and it heats up very quickly. See, you go, see, this is the nib where the heating occurs, and you place the soldering tin to the nib and it will melt in seconds. See, and be careful. This soldering tin produces a lot of smoke, which may be allergic or harmful to many people. So always have a fan turned on to get rid of the smoke. So now see how nice it melts. And don't ever keep your hands in the nib saying that I'm trying to see if the temperature has risen. No, don't do it. Then if you do it, then your hands get burned. See, see how nice it melts. See, the smell. See how much smoke it is. Even the fan is turned on. Okay, the mistake that many people do is that they apply solder to the soldering iron and try to move the solder to the component and do like this, but the solder doesn't stick, and say that it is the soldering iron's fault. No, this is also wrong. And some people say that we apply some solder to the soldering iron and place it near the component and apply the same solder to the soldering iron again, and that too it's not working. Why? That is because these two steps are wrong. So now I'll tell you what is the correct way. So firstly, you apply some solder to the soldering iron like this, and with the same temperature you heated up the soldering iron, heat up the component as well. Heat up the component as high temperature as you can, and as you can see, this terminal should be soldered. So heat this terminal as hard as you can, that is as high temperatures as you can. So when you heat this terminal, the heat from the soldering iron gets into this soldering terminal, and we could do soldering. See, it is soldered. Okay, let me demonstrate again for you to understand more clearly. So I take another LED, keep it in this hole, and then solder. Apply some solder to the soldering iron first, a little bit, then heat up the terminal as hotter as you can, and place the soldering tin exactly on the terminal, and it will solder like magic. Yay! And then the next thing. Hey, I don't have a position. And okay, and done. See how neat it is. This is the thing that I'm showing. See how neat it has come. So it should be like this. If it is bulged or very low, your PCB will not work, that is your circuit will not work. So it should be perfect like this. That is, it should be a square like thing. See, this is so stiff. If it doesn't come out and your LED is stiff in its position, then your soldering is perfect. If it is not stiff, then your soldering is bad. But this takes time. For beginners, it may end up till many days, because for me it took me about a month or so, many months, not a month. So don't worry beginners, it's just a beginning. So don't worry if you do not do your first soldering perfect. You can do it if you practice daily. Okay, we have soldered it, but how can we remove it? We cannot remove like this. It does not come out like this. So for that are the two components which are called the desoldering pump and the desoldering wick. Firstly, let us take the desoldering pump. So as you can see, it has a button on it and a lever. So firstly, you push the lever downward, like this. It should produce a sound, and see, it has stayed in its position of downward. Now heat the terminal again to melt the solder, and Place your desoldering pump close to the solder, that is close to the terminal where you have kept the soldering tin, and press the button, this button, as soon as you can. Oh, this terminal is so long. But if you feel it is difficult with the desoldering pump, this desoldering pump is the easiest way. You can go to the other way, which is the desoldering wick. It is made of some copper like thing, and to desolder with this, you place the copper on top of the solder tin and press the copper with this soldering iron. And don't hold the copper very close to your hands, or else you may feel the heat. So like this, it will take the solder out, and you can take your desolder component out. But desoldering takes more time than soldering, because your solder may have fitted correctly and it may become colder or something. That is, it may, if you can't get that soldered out, then apply more solder and do it with a desoldering pump. Like this, I'm applying more solder. Shit. And then take the desoldering pump, push the lever, press the button, and protect. Nope. You have to let me cut the long terminals. It's disturbing me. Oh no. I destroyed my PCB. I tried to cut the terminal. Oh, it's okay. I tried to cut the terminal of the LED and accidentally I tripped the wire off. That is the printed wire off. Okay, leave the LED. We'll do desoldering later. So now we have done soldering with PCBs. Can we do soldering with these wires? Yes, we can do. If you are lucky, that is, if you have a steel wire like this, you are lucky, because the soldering work is less. But if you have a copper wire like this, we have to do double the work, because copper does not stick to the soldering tin. As you saw, this copper wick removes solder, and copper does not stick to solder, so we have to coat the copper wire with solder, and then only it will stick. So now let us solder that. So to solder wires, you need a stand like this. I made a stand with a cardboard and a cloth hanging clip. Okay, let us hang this solder wire like this, the wire like this. And first, to solder a copper wire, you need first to put solder on the soldering iron and place the soldering iron below the wire, and then solder. I'll get you a closer look. See, the soldering iron should be below and the soldering wick should be on the wire, and go from right to left. And then, yay, see, you steel coated the copper wire. That's that. See. Okay, now let us join this wire with this wire. So now let us take a bit of solder in this soldering iron, and then take the soldered copper wire and then press both of them together. And then that's all. See how easy it is. I soldered this and it is perfect as a joint. So it is also important to clean your soldering iron safely. That is, you need to clean your tip, that is the white part you are seeing. You need to clean that daily, that is whichever day you are using, because if that gets worse, then your soldering iron is a waste and you have to throw it. It is because this tip does the job of melting the soldering tin. If it gets blackened, like that is, see, the bottom part is blackened, that is because I haven't applied solder to that part. We don't have to apply solder. So if this black part gets to this tip, then your soldering period is over. That is because you cannot do soldering anymore. When the black thingy forms, the soldering tin does not stick to the soldering iron and it does not melt. So it's like a baby. You have to take care of it frequently, and to wash it you need some copper thingy like this, and rub it like this. When you rub it, it will be clean. And or else, if you don't have the copper scrub, whatever you call it, you can take a sponge, which is when you wet this sponge in water, it becomes fluffy, and when you do like this, it becomes clean. So frequently clean it. This is the common mistake that everyone makes. They don't clean it and say that the black has formed and no one is able to make the soldering. You have to clean it. If you do not clean it, then your soldering period is over. So I hope that this video would have been useful for you. So please don't forget to subscribe so that my videos will reach first to you. And thank you.